noisy where you are. Hear all those sirens going past. Sounds noisy there.
Yeah, it's gone. It's long gone. That's why I couldn't hear you for a split second then.
Oh, don't worry. Right. We are live. We are on YouTube and we are live, Mohammed. Right. Let me just get you back up on my screen.
What's your channel called, Jade?
Pricks Official. Pricks Official. That's what it's
Pricks
called.
Official. Let's go.
So anyone who's tunes in, please hit subscribe. Right. Where are you? There you are. I can see you now. I couldn't see you for a second then. Right. So I've got the lovely Muhammad Ali with me, who I met very, very, very briefly at TAD last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year.
I didn't get to see your speech because I was with the youngsters doing a workshop with them. I didn't get to hear your story at all. So I'm excited to hear all that tonight. And you had to dash off as well, so I don't think you got to see Pricks, did you, at TAD either?
No, what happened was Dr. Parker invited me to the event, and as soon as I did my speech, he said, "Go on, enjoy it. Nice sunny." It was a nice sunny day. He said to me, "Head out, to London, have a good trip around." So I missed out. I ended up in central London.
Right, well, we'll blame Parker for that one then. That's his fault. So, guys, if you are joining us, please do say hi. Send us a question if you've got a question to ask. I'm going to be asking Mohammed a few questions just to begin with, just to find out a bit about him. But if you're here... Oh, Liz Freeman says hi. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
She says, hi, Jade. Hi, Mohammed. Thanks, Liz. Thanks for joining us. Yes, so... Oh, thank you, Liz. Liz just said Pricks was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much for watching it. So, right, tell me your story, Mohammed. How old were you when you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes? And how did it all happen?
I was either 4 or 5, 4 going on to 5 years old, as a hyperactive child, and I'm still hyperactive. And my mother saw me. I was suffering from a hypoglycemia, what it sounds like, because I was doing things what I don't usually do. For example, when you go into hypoglycemia, you're not really in control of the actions you are doing. So my mum said I was acting funny, and she'd never seen me do such things. So she tried bringing me around, and obviously she wasn't aware that I'm suffering from a hypoglycemia. So she rang the ambulance, and the ambulance came, took me to the hospital, and they diagnosed me with type 1 diabetes back then.
Well, I was similar age to you. I was 4. I just turned 4 when I was diagnosed, so we were similar age, but you're a little bit younger than me. So you've had it, what, 22, 23 years?
Yeah. Not sure,
and I presume, being a boxer, I presume that you don't have a pump. You use injections.
No, I use the injections. No,
because I was just thinking, like, I was going to say, it could get punched off. Like, I'm just thinking, like, no, where is it? There, mine's there. Like, obviously, like, it could get knocked off quite easily.
Is that your sensor, Jade?
That's my Dexcom. That's my CGM, and that's my pump.
I don't use the pump, but my CGM is on my hip.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Have you got a CGM? So you do have one?
Yeah, I'm using a CGM. Yeah. So mine's just below my hip, and every fortnight I'm sponsored by and an ambassador for Freestyle Libre. So massive big up to Team Freestyle, and I'm sponsored by Freestyle Libre, and every fortnight I swap sides. Of the sensors. Yeah.
I had Libre before I had Dexcom, and with Dexcom it's only just been made been patented for wearing on the arms. So beforehand you had to wear it on your tummy, but now you can wear it on your arms. I much prefer it. I think it lasts longer and everything on my arms, and so I just swap from arm to arm every 10 days. I have to swap mine. but it's great. I've just moved my insulin pump today to my arm. I used to only ever wear it on my legs, but more recently I've started getting more experimental. But we've got a question. What is your ideal blood sugar before you start boxing? Asks Liz. What's your ideal blood sugar before you start a fight?
Before I start a match, I've been set rules by the British Board of Boxing Control, what I've got to follow. And my sugar levels are between 6 and 16. So mine be roughly around 8 or 9. Because when my sugar levels start going over, for example, 16, I start feeling slow and lethargic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm dragging my body. I want to go to sleep. I'm feeling sleepy. And my body slows right down. I feel horrible when when my blood sugars are over 16. It's like I'm dragging my body, dragging my body along. I feel slow and lethargic.
I feel the same, yeah. Like I just want to lie down and go to sleep. And
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I feel the same. I can completely understand that. So the question, we got another question, which do you have Libra or Dexcom? So you've got Libra, you said, and you're a freestyle. You're an ambassador freestyle. Great. Well, so I've read that it took 3 years for you to get your boxing license. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because as an amateur boxer, I started boxing at the age of 13, 14. But I've played football, been involved in sports since a very, very young age. But at the age of 13, 14, I started boxing, and I couldn't get an amateur boxing license, being diabetic. The doctors would have passed my medical, not even checking my HbA1c or overall sugar levels or anything, just for being diabetic. I wasn't being granted a boxing license. So at the age of 17, I got my amateur boxing license, and I did pretty well. So when I applied for my professional boxing, I won a big tournament in Ireland, and then I got offered a professional boxing contract. So at the age of 20, I applied for my British boxing license. I was 21 or 20 back in 2014 or 15. I applied for my British boxing professional license, and they denied it because I was diabetic. I passed all my medicals, passed all the tests, but just for being diabetic, they said we can't grant your license. It's never happened before.
How did that make you feel?
I felt discriminated, and I felt as though I'm not a normal human being, because I've as a diabetic, I understand we've got to take our pancreas isn't working, we've got to take our insulin, but if we're managing our diabetes in a good manner, it's a control. I believe diabetes is not an illness. I believe it's a controllable condition. So, for example, Jade, what I mean by this, some people take my words the wrong way. What I mean by this is, like, I'm going to consume my next meal, which is I'm having potato mash, and I'm having chicken breast, grilled chicken, and some vegetables with it, broccoli and spinach. And I've weighed my mash, and according to that, I've taken 5 units of insulin, according to how much insulin I've got to take to the carbohydrates. So I've measured that. I weigh all my food. So, for example, I'm taking 5 units, and when this podcast finishes, that's when I'll consume my meal. If I get my calculations wrong, my sugar levels may drop, or my sugar levels may go up, depending on if I've taken less insulin, my sugar levels will probably rise. If I've taken too much insulin, my sugar levels are obviously going to drop. So that's in my hands how I've educated myself about calculating how much insulin I've got to take. So I think it's really down to us as diabetics to learn more about the condition. Like, for example, attend the events. What's the event called now? Daphne. I've been on the Daphne course.
Yeah.
And if you go on the courses and you educate yourself about the diabetes, and that's the reason where some people were slating me on Twitter when I said I believe diabetes is not an illness but a controllable condition.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see what had been said. I just saw your response to it. I thought, oh, I wonder what's there, but I didn't know what had happened. And then,
Yeah, that's what had happened. I just put it in writing that I believe diabetes is not an illness, but I believe it's a controllable condition. It's down to us how we educate ourselves about diabetes, and if we do it in the right manner, we should be able to control our diabetes and not form more illnesses. You know, for example, our eyesight's going worse, or suffering from hypoglycemias, and getting skin problems or anything. Yeah. So it's down to us how we educate ourselves about diabetes.
And I think it's down to every single type 1 as to how they want to, what they want to consider it as well. I would usually call it a condition. I wouldn't often call it an illness unless I'm filling in a funding application and to get the funding, and it asks if I've got an invisible illness. Then I would tick that. I would tick that box on that funding application to say I've got an invisible illness, because I know that's what lots of medical people would refer to it as. But yeah, condition, I think, is a completely acceptable way to describe it. We've got
I get discriminated if they call diabetes. Someone says to me, "Oh, you suffer from an illness." I get a bit wound up, to be honest with you. They're like, "No, it's not an illness."
That's fine, and you're entitled to feel like that, yeah. And we've just got a few questions coming in. Do you need to take anything extra during a fight, or just checking blood levels? So do you need to take anything extra in order to get through the fight, or are you all right if you start on 8 or 9? Are you usually all right?
No, I'm absolutely fine. In between rounds, my sugar levels get checked via the CGM machine, and scans in between rounds. I'm absolutely fine. The only thing I do need to do is 10 weeks leading up, or 8 weeks leading up to the fight, prepare in the gym. That's the only thing I've got to do. But no, I've not got to do. I've just got to get my calculations right and crack on with the fight.
What I find, Mohammed, is when I do a show, my adrenaline makes my blood sugar go really high. Do you find that when you're
I've got to take extra units. Because what happened was, when my boxing license was denied, the British Board of Boxing Control, at the time, the CGM was new. 2 years ago, it was something new introduced, and the reason they were denying my license was because they wanted to keep an eye on my sugar levels, but they couldn't do this because you'd have to take the wraps off, to prick my finger. And they said, look, it's impossible. It'll take over a minute to take your wraps off, your gloves off your hands, and then checking your sugar levels. You can't do that within a minute. And our rules and regulations of the rest in between rounds, we can't change it just for you. So Dr. Ian Gallen, he is a very good endocrinologist. He worked with Sir Steve Redgrave, and he said to me, look, there's a CGM sensor, Freestyle Libre, who he recommended to me at the time, and he said there shouldn't be no excuses, so you should be using the sensor. Try it in between in training, see if it works for you. So I tried it, and it worked a treat for me, and it's been life-changing time for me since that was introduced.
It's probably safe to say that if that technology didn't exist, I
wouldn't be boxing.
Boxing professionally.
No, I wouldn't be boxing. Yeah.
So you probably feel like you owe quite a lot to freestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I represent them. Honestly, life-changing times. Big up Freestyle Libre. Also, putting the units up. During the fights, when we had our meeting with the British Board of Boxing Control, Dr. Ian Gallen had said at the time, look, his sugar levels are impossible to drop because of adrenaline. His sugar levels are automatically going to go up, and that's exactly what's been happening. So I've got to take extra units before I go into the ring as well.
That's what I do. I increase when I do a show. When I'm on stage, I increase my background insulin so that I don't end up too high. Because I've ended. It's very much trial and error, isn't it? Like I ended my first couple of shows of Pricks because it had been a few years since I'd done like a theatre show. And last time I'd done a theatre show, I didn't have a CGM. I didn't have any of that stuff. So when I started doing Pricks, I didn't realise that I needed extra insulin for the adrenaline at the time, so I reduced my insulin, and I ended a show like at like 20, 22, something like that, and I was like, I feel like absolute rubbish. So yeah, it took me a while to realise, oh no, I need to increase my background insulin, so I put mine up 35% whilst I'm doing the show, and usually it stays pretty level during the show then. We've got a question here. Geordie, hi everyone, big boxing fan. This is amazing to see type 1s being able to box now. Have you ever had a hypo during a fight?
No, I'd be banned straight away.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. She's also asking about your diagnosis story. You've missed that before, Jodie. So Mohammed was diagnosed, he's not quite sure, it was age 4 or 5. And he was acting oddly, and his mum ended up going in an ambulance to hospital and being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. That's why
I tell you what, as a youngster, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, I used to play football, for the local Sunday league team. And my mum wouldn't, my mother and my father were depressed at the start when I was diagnosed with diabetes. And my mum was sat on the pitch, on the side. Imagine like a lady sat on her own with a bag full of treats, and us kids playing football, and mum's got a scarf on her head, and Sunday morning playing football. Next minute, I'm having a hypo and in the middle of the match, and I'm on the floor, the ball's not even near me, and I'm doing a funny dance, and I don't know what I was doing, but I've not passed out, but my mum's gone running on the pitch. Imagine a lady running onto the pitch with a bag full of treats, and she's put Lucozade down with bananas, Mars bars. I must have had a meal, in the space of 30 to 60 seconds. And I was thinking, whoa, what's, going on here? And then next minute, I've been taken off, subbed off, and I've come back on, 15 minutes later. It was half time then anyway. The coach had asked, is he okay? Checked my sugar levels, I was fine. Cracked on.
Oh, it depends. Like when I was younger, I always danced.
Brilliant.
Before every dance class, I used to have a snack in case I went low in my dance class. I don't think I ever really did go low in dance classes when I was a kid. I don't remember a hypo dance class when I was a kid. When I was at drama school and I was studying musical theatre and dancing all day, every day, I had loads of hypos, but it was always, it tends to be the come down of the class. So like it would be after, during the cool down bit or towards the end of the class. It's not when the adrenaline's there, when you're like trying to. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's just so weird how much your blood sugar is affected by the tiniest things.
Oh, massive. Massive.
So, thanks, Liz. Liz is saying this is so interesting. She loves it. I thought Libra was life-changing as well, being on it about 4 years and now 39 years type 1. She said type 1, 39 years.
Going strong.
Yeah, brilliant. Definitely. Well done. So insulin is supposed to sometimes increase weight. Is it hard to keep your weight division? Oh, is it hard to keep your weight division?
To keep within my weight division, it solely comes down to my diet. For example, I've got an absolutely sweet tooth. Jade, are you the same by any chance? Have you got a sweet tooth?
I love chocolate. Love chocolate.
Chocolate is my enemy, but my lover at the same time, because I can eat bars upon bars. My mum, honestly, my mum's got to hide chocolate in the house. When chocolate's got in the house, they've got to hide it away from me.
If it's there, I eat it. So we try not to have it in the house because I will just eat it all.
That's same as my house. No biscuits, no drinks, kind of like fizzy pop. It's all hidden. But I'm honest, like I'm drinking a lot of water. That's the only fluid I'm drinking at this moment in time, because I want to be boxing, as soon as possible. When this pandemic's over and done with, I want to be ready straight away. So I'm dieting, but a day after my fight, you won't see me near a gym. It's a bad habit, but I'm hoping I don't do it ever again. But as of right now, these 6 previous fights, I go on a binge. You've got to name which restaurant I don't attend in the UK. You know, after I've been on a strict diet for like 8 weeks, and then the following morning I'm at McDonald's probably for breakfast. At lunchtime I'm probably at Nando's. Later on probably at KFC. I'm just at a restaurant after a restaurant. Let's not forget what's the donut place called? Creams. Krispy Kremes.
Krispy Kreme, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be going there. Sorry?
I do like a donut, and donuts are surprisingly lower in carbohydrates than you would think they were, because like compared to like cake, a donut's quite a bit lower, isn't it, than cake?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love food. Like I love like everything. I love every takeaway.
If there's food there and dessert there, you see me having the dessert, not the food.
Oh, no. See, if I go out for a meal, I would have starter and mains over mains and dessert.
Nah, I'm the opposite.
Chocolate bar there, I have to eat it. But no, I would go for starter and mains over mains and dessert. But yeah, it's chocolate's my down. Chocolate and crisps, they're my downfall. So and just anything that tastes.
I have my goodie bag ready straight after my fight. When I'm getting home and I'm going to bed, my phone just doesn't stop. The notifications. Like people, well done, etc. I've got to reply to everybody, and my goodie bag's next to me. And then in the morning, I'm going to McDonald's. I'm just everywhere.
What's the first thing you would reach for in your goodie bag?
Dairy milk whole nut.
Ooh, yes.
That's fruit and nut.
Mine's a Whisper. It's got to be a Whisper.
Oh, lovely. I like the Whisper melting in my mouth. I'll leave a big lump in, let it melt.
I'm just looking at my blood sugar on here. I'm just going to put a little bit of extra insulin on my background a second, because it's just creeping up. So just give me 2 seconds.
My background is the Lantus.
Oh yeah, I used to be on Lantus. Yeah,
that's what I take. I'll be taking that after this podcast. And my fast acting's Nova Rapid.
Yeah, that's what I was on. Nova Rapid and Lantus, and I was on Novo until very recently, and I've only just changed to Fiasp, which is still made by the same people, made by Novo Nordisk, but I'm using Fiasp now, and I think I'm getting on better with it. I've had to alter lots of things, but it does seem to work a lot quicker for me. I used to, every time I like carbs, so every time I ate like lunch or tea or whatever, it would be like I'd have like 40 grams of carbs say for lunch, and I would spike to like 16, and then it would take a while to come back down. But the highest spike I tend to have now is around, on Fiasp, is about 10, 11, which is a massive increase for me.
It's an increase.
No, massive decrease.
Oh, right. Yeah, brilliant.
So, like, I'm just 10.5 there, and I just think that's from my tea that I had earlier. So that's why I just put a bit of extra background in to try and bring it down quicker. But yeah, I think I am getting on better with Fiasp than I was Novo.
Technology's moved on massively. Honestly, it's moved on massively, because I remember as a youngster when I first became diabetic, my mum would prick her fingers first to see if it's painful anywhere, and then prick my fingers. My mum would. Do you remember? Going back now, when I was 4 or 5 years old, going back about 22 years, the needles were about 12 milliliters, and you'd inject for the whole day.
They were horrible.
Yeah, like you'd get the insulin out of the insulin, like the little bottle. Yeah.
Flick the air bubbles out.
Yeah. So my mum would, first test it on herself, and then she'd inject me. And that's how I grew up. And I've got to say, people who are becoming diabetic now, they're very, very lucky as technology's moved on. Not very lucky. What I mean by very lucky is people who are diagnosed with diabetes in this day and age, they've got a lot of education out there, and they've got a lot of technology, to help make life easy for you guys. And I remember them injections you used to take for the whole day. Your sugar levels will drop randomly, increase randomly, your blood sugars would go up, like they'd be all over the place, back then.
my HbA1c was always good. That's because I was either down here at like 2 point something or up there at God knows what. I was all over the place. And to be fair, like even on my pump and with my CGM until recently, I still like get big
Spike.
more peaks than troughs, so but it's definitely leveled out in the last couple of weeks, and I think and I've down for the new insulin, but also I've got a new watch that has my Dexcom on it. I don't know if you can see.
Awesome.
So I've got so it says 10.5 at the, I don't know if you can. I've just pressed something. Oh well, anyway, it's on my watch and it's got my graph
What's
on.
that?
It's just a Fossil sports watch. It's one of the ones Dexcom recommend. It's on the Dexcom list of approved watches for linking the two together. So it's really fancy, definitely making me look after myself better than before, I think. We've got quite a few comments and stuff going on here. So where do you have your matches? Would love to come and support. Live in Jersey, so would be when things are back to normal and compliant. Where are your fights often at? Are they all over?
They're all over, but I'd love, for you guys to come out and, support me on my next fight. It could be in Manchester, Bolton, London. With this pandemic.
Because I quite like boxing, so you have to let me know.
Yeah, definitely. Get down, Jade. It'd be good to have your sport. It'd be good to have even all the viewers coming. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing diabetics all the way.
That would be great. Like, we'd get a whole type 1 crowd there.
Oh, it'd be amazing. It'd be a memorable, moment.
Oh, Jodie and Liz both said they love chocolate. Okay, so how did it feel? So how did your first fight feel as a type 1 who had waited years for the license? How did your first professional match feel when you finally
like when I had my first amateur fight, it lasted a minute. It lasted a minute.
You were so good.
I know you'll have to come and watch me, Jade, and tell me if I'm so good. But I stopped the lad in the first round, and that was in the amateurs. And then in the pros, I hadn't been in the ring for 3 years. And I look back at the performance, and I'm like, wow, I should have done much better than that. But a win's a win, and I won every single round, every single second of the fight. But it was just a good day out for me, to be honest with you. It was a good night at the office. It was a good day out, yeah. So
I love that.
Just every performance is just getting better and better for me.
Liz says to me that me and Liz are so alike. She says she goes start remain and also whisper is her favourite too. Good one, Liz. 2 peas in a pod, us two.
Wow, the thunderstorms are taking place out there. How's the weather down your neck of the woods, Jay?
It's been all right. It's been quite warm, dry and warm.
It's warm here, but thunderstorms and all sorts.
Oh, we've not. I don't think we've had a thunderstorm unless it's been when I've been asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, I've just heard one now. I'm just watching the roof. It better not land on my head.
Amanda says when I got diagnosed in 1982, there was no blood urine. I had to test urine as well. But I did have a blood tester, but I think that was later on. Yeah,
I've got to test my urine as well.
Yeah. And she said she had glass syringes that had to be kept in white spirit. Wow. It's Amanda, I thought in 82 we would have had the plastic ones by then.
I thought my time was hard.
Jodie says, if I get a table at your boxing, she said all the type 1s will come.
Hey, that'd be amazing.
She also wants to know when you're next fighting in London, because she's in London.
Definitely. Just keep an eye on my social media and you'll get to know as soon as I know.
So Mohammed's on Twitter, and it's Mohammed Ali Box on Twitter, isn't it?
Mohammed Ali Box, yeah. I'm not too sure myself. Mohammed Ali Box, yeah.
So give him a follow. I'm sure you're on Twitter. Give him a follow on there, and you'll keep up.
Sorry, Jade, you're frozen on me.
Oh, have I? Oh, sorry. Can you hear me all right, though? Can you hear me okay? I don't think you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jade, but I can see you now.
Oh, good. That's good. And whenever it freezes, it always freezes in like a really ugly face, doesn't it? Like you're in the middle of saying something and then the camera freezes. Right. So, maybe I should get on my feet and you should teach me how to box a little bit. I think that's what we should do.
Let's go.
I'm not a boxer. I've never punched anyone in my life other than I have worn boxing gloves once before and punched like a pad, but that's it.
Right, Jade, what you've got to do is get your hands up in line with your shoulders.
Right.
In line with your shoulders.
Stand up.
You're basically the inside of your knuckles resting on your cheeks.
Right. Inside of your knuckles resting on your cheeks.
This is going to be hard, man. So basically, you've got to rest your hands on your cheeks. Relax your shoulders, get side on.
What?
So if you turn your feet 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Turn your feet 45 degrees, yeah. So you're side on. Hands, both of your hands up, and use. Are you left-handed or right-handed, Jade?
Right. Right-handed.
So your left, yeah. So your left leg will be in front of you. Your right foot will be behind you.
Yeah, that's what I've done. Yeah.
You'll always lead with the ruler, which is your left hand now. So you'd reach out with the jab in front of you. So So you turn the knuckle over on the last second. So you're keeping your hand straight and turning on the last second. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, keeping that right hand up, brilliant. And bring it straight back to your chin. So what I want you to do now is throw the jab and then spin on your right foot, throwing your right as well. So
two hands, so I do that, go with my left first, yeah?
So you jab first, your left hand first, yeah, but slow it down so you're twisting on your back foot.
Okay, so I'm going to go.
So jab, bang, boom, that's it, yeah, hands up, bam, that's it, Jade, you've got it. Keep your hands up. So I want you to do 4 straight shots now, but make sure your hands are coming back to your chin at all times because your defense is so important. So
bang, 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 like that.
Yeah, but in one motion, so there's no pause.
Like that.
But do it slowly first. Perfect the technique. So 4 straight shots. Yeah. Now your right hand. Make sure your hips are twisting in.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. You get the full power behind the punch.
Bang,
Twist. Lovely.
Bang.
That's it. And then what I want you to do, what you want to do now is, Jade, so you're going to throw a 1-2. So what I mean by 1-2 is your left hand is number 1, your right hand's number 2. So you're going to throw a 1-2, and then you're going to go down and back up. Like basically into a squat and then back up.
A squat and back up? Jesus. Right, okay. So I'm going 1, 2, down,
up, back up, and then 4 straight shots. Yes, but don't go too low. Basically, you're doing the squat to make them miss their punch from hitting you. Your head's the target.
So I'm ducking under there. Right, okay. Thanks.
So 4 straight shots.
2 squat and then 4.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
my right hand first.
But always lead with your left hand.
Yeah,
always lead
right
with your left hand. Because you measure the distance, you measure where you and they are with the left hand, set yourself up, and then with the right hand, cut them out.
Right.
Jade, have you got a husband or a boyfriend?
Yeah.
So if he gets brave with you, you know what to do now. Line him up. Make sure you line him up.
Right, let's come back. I'm going to sit back down. Let me just turn everything around.
Jade, I need 10 burpees off you now.
No, I did burpees last week. I'm not doing them this week.
10 press-ups off you.
Did you see last week? So I did it with Khaled Keshta last week.
Yeah. Oh, the thunderstorms are back.
It was good. But yeah, he worked me hard. Oh, go on, Jade. Thank you. Thanks for saying go on, Jade. Right, so questions. Oh, what have we got here? Right, we didn't eat. Oh, so Amanda says they didn't even have urine test strips. It was a mini lab test. Plastic syringes were a luxury. Love your boxing. We should do a charity fundraiser. I should not do a charity fundraiser.
You should do, Jade.
I can't box. So Geordie
You can
says,
always learn.
Geordie says, are you a middleweight? Are you middleweight? Are you a middleweight?
No. I'm a welterweight.
You what?
Welterweight. I'm
Welterweight.
10 stone and 7 pounds. At the moment, I'm about 11 stone 3.
Wow. Also, Liz Freeman has a question. Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury? Oh, which do you think?
What it is, I'm with the same management team as Tyson Fury, MTK Global, and
You have to say Tyson.
I'm going with my man Tyson Fury.
I think Tyson.
Going off the last performances, I'm going with Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury.
I loved his TV show. I loved his TV show.
His documentary.
Yeah.
It's
I
awesome.
thought it was great. It gave you like such a different insight. Like it gave you insight for start. I saw a completely different side of him from that documentary.
Tyson, he's first and foremost, he's very uplifting. You know, for example, to myself,
yeah,
you know, he shows that never give up in life, and he's shown that you can come, you know, like you can face, you know, lows in your life as well, and come back and take over the world, basically, which is what he has gone and done, and he's proven to the world. Don't let negativity take over your life. Stay positive and get on with your goals. Keep good people around you, and that's what I've done as a diabetic. I always seek help from professionals. I'm always connecting with you know, professionals on Twitter. For example, I'm always following Dr. Parfer, all the other endocrinologists. You know, seeing how they're getting on. For example, yourself, other diabetics as well. See how they're getting on with their blood glucose levels, how they managing their diabetes. For example, Sam Brand, the cyclist, he messaged me today. Sam messaged me today asking me about the CGM, saying how is it? How's it working for you? And I said it's been a life-changing moment for me, you know, using the CGM.
Sam's lovely. Because I met Sam at TAD. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. He might be someone I need to ask to come on here at some point. I don't know if he could teach me to cycle though in my front room. I don't know how.
Pedal the bike.
I can ride a bike, but yeah, I don't know what we do about that. So Liz really wants to get tickets to the Fury Anthony Joshua match, but Jodie thinks that Anthony Joshua will win. Anthony Joshua all the way, she says.
Let's wait for the fight.
Question here that says, who would be sorry, I've just lost it. Who would be your ideal opponent to fight? Who's your ideal opponent?
My ideal opponent, not diabetes. We've just got to wait and see. You know, whoever's got the belts, you know, at my weight, you know, at the time, whoever's got the world title, you know, belt at the time, I'd like to box him, ideally.
Is there not one person that you might, like, you've always thought, oh, I'd love to have a fight with him?
Floyd Mayweather. But he's at the end of his career now, isn't he? He's at the end of his career. But you never know, he might come out of retirement because he's in phenomenal shape right now. Yeah,
you never ever know. He might. Yeah, I like it.
Imagine Muhammad Ali versus Floyd Money Mayweather. Muhammad the diabetic kid Ali versus Floyd Money Mayweather.
That would be cool. That would be cool. So how have you? So you inject daily still. You've done Daphne, you told me, didn't you? You said you've done the Daphne stuff, and you keep in touch. You follow lots of people online. Have you got like a top tip? Have you got a top tip for any type 1 diabetes out there that want to get into a sport, maybe boxing or some other sport? What's your top tip?
Guys, you know, my best tip, I've tried it myself and it works for me every camp. Meal prepping. Measure your foods. what you're consuming, you know, how much insulin you're going to take, because you're prepared before you're taking your insulin. So weigh all your foods out. For example, if you're having 150 grams of rice and 200 grams of chicken breast and broccoli, spinach, etc., you know how much carbs you're consuming and how much insulin you need to take. And I think meal prepping is very, very important, not just for athletes, but for us diabetics as well.
It's a good tip. Got a question here that says, I'm Londoner, I have to go with AJ lol. Can't wait to see you fight. Do you have a ring name? What's your intro music?
My intro music's been changing, you know, each fight. But for my next fight, do you guys listen to grime by any chance?
No, I wouldn't say that I do. What is it?
Like rap, like kind of rap.
I mean,
rap.
I don't know what you would class as grime, street rap. Yeah, maybe I do then.
Like a bit of Stormzy?
Yeah.
So I've got the local, you know, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'll tell you guys, you know, I'm talking to my diabetes family, so I'll tell you guys. I've got the local grime artist, you know, from my neck of the woods. Yeah. He's gonna walk out with me during the next fight.
Oh, so, that'll be amazing. A live performance.
Let's see how that unfolds then.
That'll be really. Oh, I like that.
I've dropped the secret, guys.
And your ring name? Is your ring name, or is it just your nickname, the Diabetic Kid? What's your ring name?
I changed it from the last fight to the Diabetic Kid because I'm a proud diabetic and I want to represent my diabetes family.
So it is the Diabetic Kid then?
Yeah.
Love that. I love that. That's amazing. And it's so good. It's so inspirational for younger people to see that, and for also it's so educational for other people to see this fit guy who's in a boxing ring winning fights and to go, oh, he's got diabetes. That hopefully will teach people. It might get.
Honestly, I receive messages every day, you know, by people. Can we come train with you? You know, I'm a diabetic. It's like due to confidential rights, I won't name anybody, but I received a message from somebody this afternoon asking if their child could come and train with me, and I said, yeah, absolutely. You know, that'd be a great moment for myself. I love giving back, and bring your child, you know, to the gym. Make sure you bring, you know, your child, and I can't wait, you know, for a child to attend, and we'll have a cracking session.
Oh, that's so nice. I like that. I like that you can tell you're a Northerner. Not that I'm like biased at all towards Northerners, but I do think we're a really nice breed of people, Northerners, because like I think we're more yes people. So, and we're more. I'm not saying that Southern people aren't welcoming and but I just think that's a proper Northern thing for you to go, of course, come and train with me. I like that a lot. They love your name, love Diabetic Kid, and Amanda says what an inspiration you are. They can't wait to see your future fights. Oh, Amanda's in Borough. She's near me. She's in Middlesbrough. Well done. Amanda lives about 20 minutes away from me.
Go on, Amanda.
Not a Northerner and all. Sorry, Geordie. I know you're not a Northerner because Geordie was on. I do this thing on a Tuesday called Type 1 Stories, which I'll probably talk to you about after this. And Geordie did that for me a few weeks ago, and I know she's definitely not a Northerner. So she might not be happy with me saying that Northerners are a good breed and all that. So what we're going. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you think you could teach me now? Or, because you did tell our mutual friend Peter Mann that you were going to teach me how to put someone to sleep. Apparently.
Yes. So, Jade, remember, rest your hands always on your chin, on your cheeks.
Yeah.
So rest your hands there. Make sure your shoulders are always relaxed and anticipate what's coming at you. So keep your head moving. Don't be a sitting target, because that's it. You know, you move like that, but make sure your hands are moving with you. Don't be a sitting target. And once you anticipate you see an opening on your opponent, you keep touching them with the jab, pretend you're going to the body, but you're not really. Distract them. As soon as you know they're going, there's a target opening there for you, boom, let your hand go, and they are going to sleep.
Oh, I really can't wait to see you fight. Honestly, I'm definitely going to be there.
Next one, be there, Jade.
Geordie agrees. She says they're a bit mouthy down there. Liz can't wait to meet us. Amanda, my son may have met you. He is type 1 and a nurse and did a student placement at Darlow. Oh, and recognises you. Me. Sorry, I thought she was talking about you, Mohammed. Oh, maybe then. Maybe he has met me. That is quite possible because that's where I go, Darlington. Oh, David's just said hi. Hi, David. David's here as well. Right, well, Mohammed, I think we'll wrap up there. I think you are a truly inspirational person, and you're a great role model. I know. I mean, we're all amazing. We're all superheroes, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But like, honestly, I think it's really inspirational, especially given the fact that your name is the Diabetic Kid. I like that a lot. But thank you so much for being my guest this week. Thank you to everyone who is here and has tuned in. And if you don't already, I'm sure you all do, but do click subscribe on my channel so that you don't miss anything in future.
And share.
Yeah, share, definitely share. Follow Mohammed on Twitter. He is at Mohammed Ali Box. And follow at Pricks Official on all social media platforms, please. It's all about how many followers we have these days, which is ridiculous. But that's how we spread the message, isn't it? That's how we do. Next week, the 24th of June, my guest is Nina Wadia from EastEnders, because she has her child as type 1, and I've scheduled her for that day because that would have been my mum's birthday that day, and because she's a mum of a type 1, I thought that would be a great thing to talk about, being a parent of a type 1. So next week it's Nadia, so 8 o'clock, same time, same place as usual, guys. Thank you so much, Mohammed, and thank you
You're welcome
so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot.